Morning. Morning. God bless. Good morning. God bless. Let's get this recording going back strong. What's up, y'all? Good morning. Happy Monday. Trying to, There we go. We can resume recording. What is up? It is Monday. Win the morning, win the day. Win the morning, win the day. Good morning and God bless. It is going to be an awesome Monday. Um, Let me do some things, share some videos. A bird outside my window. I know it's going to be a good day. Uh, it is Monday, so that means we are focusing on our spiritual growth pillar today. We want to get better in that particular area of our lives. We want to focus on growing spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially. Every day, we want to get a little bit better every day. That's the goal. That is the goal. So I'm going to here post this morning's show right on Facebook. All of my technology today has been a little funky, and so I didn't get a chance to also post on IG today. It's all good. So we got our Facebook post done. Let's see how that turned out. Um, Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for joining. Oh yeah, it turned out pretty good. It still got my picture there. People will know to jump on. We won't be long today. I've been having this message on my mind, and so I'll get to it eventually. But let's dive in. Let's look at some affirmations. Let's look at some of the benefits and tips, and then I'll share with you all. Excuse me, and then I'll share with you all what's been on my mind as it relates to spiritual health, spiritual guidance from the Lord. Um, Repeat after me. Repeat after me. I am in the process. I am in the process of becoming the best version of myself. I am in the process of becoming the best version of myself. Repeat after me. I am not beautiful like you. I am beautiful like me. I am not beautiful like you. I am beautiful like me. I love that quote because everybody is you are such a one of a kind, right? Everybody has their own unique thing, that makes them beautiful in their own ways, physically and internally. Repeat after me. I am in charge of how I feel, and today I am choosing happiness and love. I am in charge of how I feel, and today I am choosing happiness and love. Repeat after me. I feed my spirit, I train my body, I focus my mind. It's my time. That's such a good one. That's such a good one, right? I think this is what spiritual growth looks like, right? It looks like you feeding your spirit. It looks like you taking care of that one body that the Lord has given you. It looks like you taking care of and nurturing your mind. Um, and it's your time, right? Now is your time to do it and to focus on that area because I promise you that area, that spiritual growth pillar is the big domino. It's the big domino. That's the domino that's going to start to knock down the rest of the other ones, and it will get easier. Um, this is a big one. Spiritual growth, so necessary. I let go of all that no longer serves me. I let go of all that no longer serves me. Why, Dennis? Why are we focusing on spiritual health? Because we want to grow in that area. We want to get better in our lives. We're looking for every little bit of wiggle room to grow and get better that we can find and add that to our lives so that we can better enjoy our days, right? There are a lot of things that we're hoping, that we are hoping changes in our lives for the better. And when we align ourselves with opportunities to grow spiritually, you'll start to see some tangible benefits and outcomes of that alignment, of those actions. Um, Number one of the benefits that you'll begin to see and feel is the comfort of the Lord, right? If you're intentional about being close to someone or something, you will feel that thing's presence, right? You will be in closer proximity to it, and if it's a good thing, you'll start to feel comfortable with it, right? It'll feel like it's natural, like it belongs, like this is where I should be. You will have more comfort in the Lord as you get closer to the Lord. The reason why some people don't feel comfortable discussing topics of spirituality or discussing the Lord is because they don't have a close proximity. Right? It's like if you try to have a conversation shouting with someone from across the street, eventually you'll get tired, right? You can't communicate well because you're shouting at each other from across the street, trying to build a relationship. But if you allow yourself to get a little closer, you'll be able to have a much more comfortable and understanding conversation. So as you get closer to the Lord, you're going to get more comfortable with the Lord. Um, And with that comes its own benefits, right? With that comfort brings on with the next benefit, which is a sense of protection. A sense of protection. It's so important for us to have that because if you don't have it right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what it means to feel unsafe when you're dealing in the world, right? And I'm not talking about just unsafe in the sense that somebody might knock you over the head and drag you in the alley unsafe. I'm talking about unsafe in that people won't honor or value your opinion, unsafe in that people will talk over you or ignore you, unsafe in that you will not be seen or heard in all that you do, although you are trying your best to be seen and heard and putting your best foot forward. Um, you will feel vulnerable to those kind of actions. You will feel vulnerable to those kind of rude behaviors because you will not have a sense of protection, right? You will not know what it means to go high when they go low, right? You will not know what it means to knock the dust off your shoulders, so to speak, because you are protected. You ever notice how confidently and strong some people move when they have security guards around them, when they have protection, and they act that way because they know they have protection, right? They know that they have armed security guards and protectors around them. In the spiritual world, it's the same thing, right? In the spiritual world, it is the same thing. That works the same way. When you have a protection around you, a glowing light of protection around you, a beaming light of protection around you. Listen, you may think people can't see it, but they can see it. They can feel it, especially those with ill intent and evil intent. They can see that light and protection around you, and chances are they're going to go around it. They're not going to mess with you. I promise. Um, because the last thing I'll tell you why though, too, because and it's not even that you are going to lash out and just attack this person with all of your aggression, right? Like it's more that you're probably going to respond in a way that is guided by spirituality and that is going to force that evil person to be confronted with the wrongdoings of their own actions, right? you're going to force a reflection um, that they are unfamiliar with, right? Because you are beaming a light that is going to make them uncomfortable in their evil, if that makes sense. You got to try it on, y'all. I promise. I promise. Um, Now, because you have the comfort of the Lord and because you have the protection of the Lord, you will begin to gain a greater sense of confidence, right? I've already told you all about how people walk around when they know they have their armed security. And in a physical sense, I'll tell you what, if I walked around with my licensed, armed, carry, protected weapon on me, I would feel that much more protected, right? I might have that much more confidence uh, in dealing with moments of maybe aggression or hostility in the world. But because I don't have that protection, right, when I'm in certain areas, um, I tend to avoid conflict at all costs, right? Because you don't have your protection on you. And so, in the physical world, when you have your protection, it gives you a greater sense of confidence. In the spiritual world, when you have your protection, it should also give you a greater sense of confidence. And now that you have these things, right, the Lord is giving you comfort, protection, confidence. You owe it back, and this is something to look forward to because it's a win-win. You owe it back to have a spirit of gratitude. You owe it back to have a spirit of gratitude. And the best thing about that is gratitude is what begets blessings. Gratitude is what begets blessings. The other things you are getting, the first three you are getting because you have worked to establish a relationship with your spiritual with your spiritual guide in the Lord, right? That's why you got the first two. Those two things aren't even blessings, right? All you got to do is ask for those things. Make yourself seen and known to the Lord. Ask for those, for the comfort and the protection of the Lord. You got that. The confidence you got that came with the presence of the Lord. Now, once you give up the gratitude and you start to say thank you, oh my goodness, just you watch how the Lord begins to bless you then the Lord sees that this relationship is one of appreciation. Then the Lord says, oh, this person appreciates what I've done. Let me go ahead and give them a little bit more because there's no greater word to the Lord's ear than thank you. Um, Last but not least, as you grow spiritually, and I'm not just talking about the relationship with the Lord, you will have better relationships in general. Part of it goes back to what I was talking about with the light of protection, right? People don't want to be on the wrong side of that light, right? So you'll attract people to you um, that want to be they want to be on the right side of your power, right? So you'll have healthier relationships in that sense, and that you'll get hassled less out in the world. You'll have better relationships because you also are giving something to people, right? They want to be around you because they want to be around your presence, not because of the presence that you naturally have, but because of the presence of the Lord that you welcomed into your life. People can feel that energy. They want to be around that energy, especially when it's a little unfamiliar. What is that? What is that you're cooking up over here? I want a little bit more of that energy in my life. So you'll begin to have better relationships, I promise. How to grow spiritually. How to go spiritually, y'all. And I got a new tip for y'all today. A new tip after I read off some of these old ones. Number one, read spiritual and uplifting books. Number two, meditate. Meditate, meditate. Um, Number three for today is think positive. Think positive. If you find yourself thinking negatively, immediately switch to thinking positively. If you can, try to be in control of what enters your mind. Open the door for the positive and close it for the negative, right? That means when you begin engaging in conversations and discussions and group discussions around positive things, dive into those things. When you see a conversation or action or behavior or place or people begin to go negative, remove yourself, right? And begin to make this a practice in your life. And you'll find yourself in healthier environments. All right, my last tip for the day. My last tip for the day um, is a question, and I hope this question this um, fuels the this tip in your life. Um, Here's the tip. The tip is this: listen to God. Listen to God. Listen to God. And here's my question: what has God said to you? What has God said to you about your purpose here, about your mission here? Not what you read, not what you've heard someone else say they've heard the Lord say. That's their testimony. What's written in these spiritual books are the testimonies of others. Those testimonies belong to those people. And it is good for us to learn from the testimony and experience of others. But here's my question: what has the Lord said to you? If in all of these testimonies that we read, if in all of these sermons that we attend, what we are hearing people do is share their testimony of what the Lord has led them to do, of what the Lord has said to them personally, every time these stories lead to an encounter with the Most High, and the Most High speaks to the people or the person giving the testimony, and there is a message, and there is a guide, there's an action that comes from that message. And so, what has the Lord said to you? I want you all to think about that. I want it to marinate in your soul until you get an answer. Because whatever that answer is the direction in which you need to start moving. That's the direction that you need to start moving. That is the message that the Lord has for you. I can't give it to you. You got to go find it. You got to go listen, and you'll get an answer. I have an answer. I have an answer. I've been in constant communication with the Lord, but it wasn't until recently that I realized just how much more important in my life was what God is saying to me. And that being the mission that I champion. I'll give you all a little glimpse of what the Lord has said to me and what I'm called to do. Um, in life, have you ever thrown money in like one of those wishing wells? Or you ever come across any of these like opportunities to make a wish? In my entire life, from the moment that I've ever, as far back as I can remember, from the moment that I've ever come across one of these experiences where you throw a coin in the well and you make a wish, I've always looked to the Lord and I've always asked for peace, world peace. And it's because that's what message comes into my head when I close my eyes to think about my wish, right? Whenever I close my eyes to think about my wish for the world, a voice says to me, world peace. Every single time. I'm not allowed to even wish for anything else. That's not my purpose, right? And I know that. Um, I love you all. Find your purpose. Listen for the voice of the Lord to guide you. You're going to get it. You're going to get your purpose. Um, I love you all. God bless. Peace. May you all have an awesome day. Please share and continue to grow in your lives spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially. We out.